Yeah. Another week and another episode in. We are back to discuss. Oh wow, English escapes me. We're back
It's
to
good.
this. No, it's you know why? It's because I've been practicing my Elven for Friday, so it's hard to switch between Elven, and I've also added old
Mm.
what's the dragon language called?
Valerian, High Valerian.
Yeah, I've added High Valerian. So
How do I know all
yeah.
this?
Listen, our episodes are gonna get a little more interesting moving forward. No, but here let's focus it here. We are back to discuss Andor, which happened today, and so we're gonna drop our thought.
Wow, I wonder how Mo feels about this episode.
I'm not no, I'm not gonna really go in. I'm gonna let you go first. So yeah, Roy, what were your thoughts on Andor episode 4?
Well, I was talking on the website, twitter.com, with a friendly acquaintance of mine, where one of the things that we agreed
That
was
baseline.
that Andor is a show that is not afraid for a Star Wars show to stare power in the face. Like, this is
Correct.
a show that is like not hiding the rebel metaphor and like doing
Yes,
so in a way
yes.
that like isn't just informed by lazy ass metaphors about like rebels, but like the Empire is like a settler colonialist state. Like, you
One
could
hundred
keep
percent. One hundred
like,
percent.
and they're not messing around with that metaphor, which I really appreciated. I think it's the biggest strength of the show. I think that this episode is still a setup episode that just kind of ends,
Yep.
but it was a better setup episode, I think, than the
And
setup
the first two.
ones with the first two. So the show is getting better. I was legitimately annoyed at the end of like the first episode, and especially the
Mhm.
second episode. I was not annoyed. Well, I was annoyed like I want more. Why is this episode
I
ending
mean, you
now?
knew you were getting more,
Yeah,
but I get it. I get it.
yeah.
Definitely get it. 100%. So
So that's my take.
okay, so you know what? I am with you. I am with you on the fact that the show is not hiding anything about itself. It is letting you know off the bat what it is, or who the Empire is, and how horrible they are, and in relations to what there's also a funny uh, uh mirror into into today's society, actually,
Yes.
if you want to think about it, with when Mon Mothma and her husband were having that conversation about dinner. So I was like, I can't wait
That was the
to give
most
this.
intense scene in the episode.
Right, I was like, I can't wait to do this recap so Roy and I can talk about that scene. But yes,
Mhm.
and I think we made this point last week. Oh, excuse me. I think we made this point last week that this show has everything.
Oof.
That is
I
a
don't think it
strong
was filler.
opinion.
I can definitely say super dry. That I will agree. But
Yes,
I don't think it was
but
filler at all.
here's what I think about it, though. I think it's one of this show has everything, right? So I'm watching this show and I'm thinking to myself, am I watching Munich? Like, like one of those,
Mhm.
like, like or what's the one with that the Jewish people, when they went into Germany to capture the guy, the really intense, like,
Inglorious Bastards.
oh no, not it's not that.
Oh, the
I'll
show,
research it.
like
It's
like
no,
the
it's a movie. It came
movie.
out a couple years ago. Like, it's depicting, like, the espionage,
Oh,
right?
right.
So
I know a movie you're talking about. I don't remember the title
I
though.
don't remember the name of it, but I will remember. I will do the research, and probably next week I'll talk about it. But yes, I felt like I was watching that movie, and then when we got to the heist parts, or the planning of the heist, I'm like, oh, we're watching the Italian Job or something, right?
Mhm.
So it has everything. It has the heist for people who like, it's setting up a heist for people who like heist stuff. But in the background of it, it's like you're watching a big, like, espionage, right? With Mothman and everything. So this is the Star Wars show, I think, that people kind of wanted. So yeah, I did as well.
Yeah, I did as well,
Especially,
drunk.
yeah. So but yeah, those are my thoughts. I enjoyed the episode, though. So I don't know. I think Drunk said it felt filler. I enjoyed it though. Even if it was like a super setup episode, I was like, okay, this is a good one. Because the first two episodes,
yeah. Well, particularly like the first 1.5, because I felt the first part of the first episode was good.
Yes. The first 2 minutes of the
5 minutes.
Okay. If we're being generous, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think I have a feeling that the show is gonna have maybe they'll break it next episode, but like a 3-episode storyline where it's like 2 episodes of setup, 1 episode of payoff. Because the first 3 episodes were like so formulaic in that sense. It was
right.
2 setup episodes, then 1 that just like pays everything off. Like one of the things I really loved about the 3rd episode was that it really did pay off literally everything you wanted. Like a lot of shows, a lot of the even the really good Disney Plus MCU shows haven't always paid off all the things they set up, right?
Right. Even though they saved the payoff for the last episode.
Yeah, it has done that. And so I'm now willing to be along with a more, if you want to use Drunk's term, like filler episode, because I know that that's going to pay off. I have faith now. They've like proven that they can do it. Yeah, Drunk. I was like, wait, that's the end? But overall, like it was very enjoyable. I mean, we like particularly the acting.
Yes. I will say this though. I'm not any more surprised by the ending of the episodes because we got it twice. The first two. So it's like at this point, I'm like,
we did watch it back to back.
Yeah, we did. So it felt like, you're getting something else. But you're right. So that might be, this might be the first real one. It's like, dang, I gotta wait till next week. But I'm not really surprised. Again, I feel like I got a lot of the message this episode was setting up. So the end, again, I think what's crazy is because I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, we have to do this. I literally just finished it. So I'm watching it, I'm checking the time. So I guess it didn't hit me as much because I keep checking the time to see how much time I have because I don't want to run too late and I want to make sure I make the show. So I guess that helped me not like feel the end as much. But I'm gonna ask you, what was your standout scene? Or one, what was your standout scene? Who was your standout? Because we get now introduced to our major players, right? What was your standout scene and who was your standout character from this episode?
I would have to say standout character would probably be Mon Mothma because I think she accomplished a lot in the short period of time that she's on screen. Like there's a lot of characterization like put into her, and she's still the same actress, right, from Rogue One, and that was cut from Revenge of the Sith, right?
Yes,
I think so. I think it's the same actress.
Let me double check that for you.
But for me, the standout scene that I thought was really well executed was when he passes Cassian off to the operative woman, and it does a good job of sort of setting up the misinformation that all the characters who aren't Luthien have. Right? It's Luthien, right? Is that how you said the character's name?
Yeah, that's his name. Luthien.
Yeah, like it was very like. This is a more like what I felt while I was watching this is like, oh, this is just like Star Wars: The French Resistance, right?
Yes.
And I've been teaching a lot about Italian and Nazi fascism in school, so like a lot of these themes are sort of in the front of my brain, and I think they do a really good job of Star Warsizing a lot of those tropes and the tropes of like Luthien as like the middleman, the operative. I think they did a really good job of how he's kind of like bullshitting everyone. In service of what he views as like the good, right?
Correct.
And I think that was just like really well executed because you get a sense of like Cassian's perspective on this and the new leader of this rebel cell, Val, right? Val was her name, and or Val,
Val, V-A-L,
yeah, and what Luthien is trying to accomplish. I think it was just like a really well executed scene.
Correct.
Yep, that's a good point too, Drunk.
You know what's funny about that? I was like, damn, man, there's a wig on the show. Is Rory going to talk about it? But I guess because
that wig was purposeful, though.
Right, because we know it's a wig. I will agree with you. My standout character is definitely Mon Mothma. Again, she was in Rogue One, and she was cut from episode 3.
She was blown up in
Rogue One,
No, and
episode 3. No, Rogue One.
episode 9.
Oh yes, definitely. But that
She's on that planet.
What was it? Was it the same actress?
It might be. She does get blown up in the first 5 minutes of episode Awaken of the Force Awakens. Not first 5 minutes, but
yeah,
she's
early.
in that like planet that is not Coruscant that gets
No.
blown up. It's her
Right.
home planet actually.
So she was my standout character. My standout scene was the dinner scene. It was, you know, I thought about it and I wanted to go with the store scene, right? Because that was really, really powerful. It sets up the power dynamic.
Very well done.
You know, it sets up the power dynamic. But then we fast forward to the dinner scene and she's like, you know, it's like that, like her husband is 100% like sold. Like you can tell, you know, like he's like 100% Empire, like, you know, hands up and everything. I'm not gonna do the salute, but she's like, you know, she's there. But my runner-up honorable mentions is I think her name is I forget her name.
Drax, or it's some D word.
We're
talking about the Imperial woman.
The Imperial woman and the guy and the main, you know, the 5-star general. I'll just go ahead and call him the 5-star general.
Major, I think, is what he was. Yeah.
Right. I thought that scene when he left, and he's like, "Yo, I know the kind of soldier you are, and I understand, like, you know, but you know, if you do your job, maybe I'll, you know." It's like that scene where he's trying to like let her down easy. You know, I thought that was really good for me. It was really good for me. Those were the two scenes that I thought like stood out the most. What did you think of the little of our rebel force that's gonna die at the end of the show?
You mean the end in 2 episodes?
Right.
I mean, I don't think all of them will die. I think.
I think Nemec is dying. The kid, like.
Oh yeah, the kid's
that's what, like the kid from the Matrix. That's him. He explained.
Oh, Mouse, right? Isn't that
the fun, you know, the cool character that. Oh my god, you know,
the true believer. He's also a true believer.
Right, true believer. He's dead, gone. But what did you think about those guys?
I thought it was good. Like, I thought they were like they did a good job of sort of establishing where they fall in all of the tropes.
Right.
So I enjoyed it. I thought the actors had good chemistry. It was all very believable. Like, that was one of the things I really appreciate. I don't think everyone dies because he needs to get off the planet. Like, I think most of them die.
I'm putting my money on everybody.
Everybody? I think
I'm putting my money on everybody.
I think the leader dies. I think the people who most Saw Gerrera, he's going to appear on the show.
Yes, he's definitely on the show. Yeah.
I think all the people who might like Cassian die. So that means the leader lady, then the kid, and the medic,
the nurse.
Like, at the minimum, those 3 die. Like, I think the guys who don't like him will survive. May survive. They have the less you like Cassian, the higher the chance you have, because that like creates drama, right?
Right, it does.
Where they escape, but they hate him.
They're definitely gonna blame him. Mm-hmm. It's your fault. Yeah. So I'm still putting my money on everybody, but I thought they did great characterization, right? Wow, English. I thought it was great characterization, right? Without like spending too much time on everyone, we still got to know. Yes, we still got to know who these people were, what they were, what they're about, you know, kind of what their positions are, right? Yep. We get the inside man. Again, heist. We get the inside man. Cass or whatever, Clem is our getaway driver. You know, we get the guy who comes up with the plan, Medic, I believe. We get Medic. We get the guy that looks like he's going to be heavy gun. And you know, it's.
Did you see their Star Wars AKs?
Oh my god! I
was like, why do they have AK-47s? Like,
with magazines.
It's like,
I thought that was really funny.
You're really going for it, aren't you?
Yeah. So and so I liked that. I liked, you know, that they built these characters, you know, even though like very light, like Drunk said. So we're gonna they're all probably gonna die. But
yeah, I mean, we have one more episode, at least one more episode where they're
before that. So question: do you think the heist happens? Do you think the heist happens in 2 episodes? Right?
Yes.
I'm pushing the heist to the end. Like, I think the heist is the big thing that ends the season.
The whole season. There's 12 episodes.
Oh, yeah. Never mind then. Oh,
And we have not, because like he's gonna leave this and go to Saul Guerrero, I assume. Right.
Yes. She's.
Yes, I did.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, that's a hot car. That's a
hot
car.
space
Like,
car. And there's so many. There's like the big moving part is what they're gonna do with washed out cop boy.
Yes, who lives at home with his mom, probably in the basement on Twitter or Reddit.
Oh my god, if he's on like Star Wars Reddit and he's like, you know, blue lives matter, like
no, he's gonna be trolling the Star Wars internet looking for any news about any heists or any like major movements. That's definitely what he's doing. He's definitely on Star Wars Reddit.
Intelligentsia.
Do we care about what happened, the reaming out they got? I thought it was perfect.
I mean, I thought it was perfect because it kind of like showed the power dynamics of the Empire.
Right.
I don't think we care about anybody but Bro.
Yeah.
Like,
so do you think the Irish cop comes back in some capacity?
No, I don't think we see them again.
Okay.
I think it's just going to be that guy. Like he's either going to try to chase after Andor, or he's now disillusioned and ends up in the rebellion, and that's how somehow he encounters Andor. Like, there's something like they're going to do
something has to happen with him. Also, yeah, I just thought about the question I asked earlier. I was like, dang, just put out the fact that no, because the stolen part still has to play a part in this episode. They set her up so much that she's also going to be a foil or a.
I think she's the main
protagonist. Yes. We thought Cop Guy was going to be the main villain, but she is, because she's not going to let that thing go, and that's going to be a thing. What was? Go ahead.
I mean, I'm just going to say there's a lot of Star Wars Easter eggs.
Yes.
Like the Kyber crystal, right? Which I'm sure will come back when they go to the Kyber.
Oh,
right?
yes.
100%. But also, like, they say that it's the villains from Knights of the Old Republic. So they talk about how, and I was like, oh my god, wait, are they really mentioning the obscure villains from Spacefish from Knights of the Old Republic, who were the secret real villains?
I think they're gonna pull up to a pub somewhere though, Jordan. He's probably gonna have.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You don't think they're gonna go share a drink and it's gonna be like, we should try to find him, or
maybe they'll do that. Maybe they'll do that. I don't.
You don't see that at all. Like, you think he's?
I mean, maybe. I mean,
they do have a lot of things to get through that they're setting up.
Like, I need to see maybe one more episode to sort of see the direct, because right now there's a lot of different directions they could go with the former cop dude, and. Oh, wow, drunk. I'm the opposite. I'm like, I don't want this like fucking like CIA agent to order a drone strike on somebody that we care about. Like that's basically what she's gonna do.
Right. She is the main villain. I mean, it's being set up. She's gonna somehow get put on that Ferrex job. Because I mean, he did. You know how I know they set that up? Because he was like, you have 2 cases or 2 sectors, and he's handling 6. And I'm like, oh, she's definitely getting that. Like, he's gonna be like, and somehow he's
gonna fuck up, or she's gonna set him up to fuck up.
Right, and it's gonna be like, oh, look, now you have to hand off that. You know, it's cop drama, right?
Yeah. Well, specifically, like it's more like Killing Eve, or what's the other one, or Homeland, right? Like it's that kind of stuff.
This show really like takes a lot from everybody. I think the Homeland reference was actually on point.
Yeah, I mean, also the fact that the Imperial Intelligence Service is in this show. I don't know if they've been in Rebel, if they were in Rebels, but like that's like a deep cut from the 90s. She's not gonna turn good. Oh, I hope she doesn't.
You know what? He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
I want all these Imperials to burn in hell. Like that's the kind of mood I'm in.
You remember we said the thing last week, like was the Star Wars trope is that evil at first and they turn good. I mean,
there's good people on both sides.
Right. Third sister, the main guy, Darth Vader, Ben Solo. Ugh. So you know what? I thought, because when they introduced her, I was like, oh, she's our inside person. But then I'm like, no, she's not. Then Mon Mothma appears, and I was like, okay, this is how you're going. She's gonna be like super cop. you know. You were saying before I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, there's a lot to like. Who do you think is the person that she wants to add? Do you think it's Bale, or do you think he's already part of it?
Oh man, I think Bale is already a part of it. I think he either shows up.
He does show up. He showed up in one of the trailers, so he's in here
Yes,
somewhere.
but I think he shows up at the end, like close to the end. It's one of those things they're going to save to the end to make us be like, I want to see a season 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of because if you put Bale in this show early, right?
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you setting up like his aren't you setting up Bale's like what happens to his characterization from Star Wars period, right? Isn't that one of those things you have to play with?
I mean, Bail Organa is like not the most well characterized character of. I mean, Jimmy Smits adds a lot of gravitas, but I wouldn't. I think that the character is being carried by Jimmy Smits being like,
oh, 100%.
Oh yeah, he's similar to Mace Windu and Sam Jackson. It's like, oh, Sam Jackson's a badass, so Mace Windu's a badass. Yeah.
And
well, drunk. My brain is full of Star Wars directory.
You ask, I know, seriously, ask him, and he might have an answer.
This is gonna make Mo crack up. So in my after school club that I run, I took my glasses off, and a student like started laughing, and she said, "You look like a hardcore Star Wars fan, Mr. Rogers," and it just broke me. It just broke me. So drunk, I am a hardcore Star Wars fan. I have like 30 years of bullshit Star Wars in my brain, so I got all these characters straight. At least the new continuity I don't really know that well, but all the old stuff I do know really well.
Roy, can you do me a favor? Can you take your glasses off and look to the side? Do you see it? I'm like, do you see it? Like, okay, look back at us because do you see it? Does anyone see it, or am I like tripping? Right?
He's way more handsome than me.
So I'm watching this show. I'm like, yo, I'm really looking at Roy like on TV. You know, Roy, for Halloween you have to play.
I have to play Andor.
Yeah, you do. Like it's destiny. I think that's why your beard.
What did I buy? Oh, I bought a. I think last year I bought. Oh my God, what's that show that's got about soccer that everyone loves?
Oh, crap! Is it the one on Apple?
Yeah, it's the one on Apple. Why is it Ted Lasso? There we go.
Ted
I bought
Lasso,
a bunch
yeah.
of Ted Lasso stuff. But,
Oh man, you know, if you think about it, if you have the funds to spare, because it's a whole weekend, you can go to 2
True.
events.
Well, we are supposed to go to a Halloween party, so
There you go. You can dress up at home and.
well,
hand
I
out
could do a
candy
casual cosplay, right? There we
Right.
go. That's there we go.
Yeah, you
Yes,
can.
casual cosplay. That's
You can
my
hand out
attitude, which
candy
is
as
no effort.
Ted Lasso, and you can go to the party as Cassian Andor.
Cassian
Just have to
Andor. There we go.
just get makeup to show that eye wound or whatever. Contacts. Like, are you good without your glasses, or you need contacts?
No, I need contacts, which I don't
Okay.
own, so I can't.
Well, then never mind.
Like, I can't even smoke. The screen is like this close, and I can't see shit.
Okay. What was something about this episode that if you had to say I didn't absolutely love, what would be the thing?
The ending. I wish it was a more natural ending. Like, I mean that seriously. It just kind of felt like it ended. Like it didn't provide any sense of satisfaction. It literally felt like it was the intermission for you to go to the bathroom and then the rest of the movie keeps going. Because I think as filler as this episode was, like I thought most of the scenes were strong.
Mm-hmm.
And even though like weaker stuff was still pretty good. And everything it was doing was necessary to the story they wanted to tell.
Right.
And I have faith now that the show will pay off this setup. And so I wouldn't really change anything because I think that this episode is just fine on its own terms. Like I'd be like, oh, I wanted a big action scene. Okay, yeah, sure. But that's changing what this episode and what this show is trying to accomplish.
Okay.
What about you, Mo?
Okay, so I think I agree with you with the ending. I Here's my thoughts on that. I think this show was built to be a binge show. Like it feels like we're supposed to be binging all of the episodes, right? It feels like we're supposed to watch everything back to back to back. I mean, as evidenced by the first 3 episodes, literally all of them are so uniform. And so like the endings feel like, as you said, this is where like, oh, I have to refresh my snacks, go in the kitchen, like heat up the food real quick, like it ends, and then it's like I have 12 seconds left until the next episode. So yeah, the ending is and I hate the decision for them to keep doing that. I really do.
I agree.
I feel like it was a strong show. It was a strong episode, and then it just ends where he goes, I have to eat, and okay, eat and learn what you have to learn, and we'll see
you next week.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I feel like it's a mid-period Netflix, like what Netflix used to do with all the shows.
Yes.
And then they learned that you can't do that because it gives people an opportunity to jump off. So they now do that whole weird structure of Netflix where like the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes are the single most important thing in an episode.
Correct.
And then everything else is filler, or Stranger Things syndrome, as I call it.
Right.
And this show is definitely more like Netflix circa 2012, right? Or when it was like first starting to be like the big, like House of Cards era Netflix,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Where it's just like the episodes would sometimes start really strong and then kind of meander and then just end randomly, and they'd be like, "Oh, time to watch the next one, I guess?" Question mark. Hopefully, autoplay works. Otherwise,
Right.
I can go.
This is before autoplay, because autoplay would just make you watch it at this point. No, and you know what? I do applaud Disney for like saying, "Hey, we're going to show you the first 3 episodes," because I truly believe if we had to watch the show episode by episode, week to week, episode 2 would have been the episode that people like. If you're not a Star Wars person, episode 2 would have been the episode everyone jumped off.
Agreed.
And, they just said, okay, we're doing this, and they did it. It's really hard for, like, again, outside of the ending, it's really hard for me to find something that I can say I didn't like about it. The show is a slow burn. It's a slow burn, but I feel like because episode 3 happened the way it happened, I feel like the payoff, like as opposed to like Obi-Wan, right? The first 3 episodes, as opposed to that, I feel like the payoffs will be very, very, will be something that everyone is gonna like love. So,
did we get 1 or 2 Obi-Wan episodes on the first day?
We got 2. We got 2, and just like this show, Drunk has a question.
Oh God, I'll never. Is it 8? I thought it's 9.
No, he's on Drunk. I think is what's that weird time zone? Because there's a Pacific, which is 3 hours.
Mountain time.
Yeah, I think so. Central.
Okay.
Yeah.
You mean the second best time zone after? It goes in Cascadian order. East Coast is the best time zone, then Central,
right?
Then Mountain, the forgotten time zone, right. And then the cursed time zone known as
where I'm at.
Like the sun is still up. Mo's like, after this, I'm gonna have a mojito, and it's got.
I have actually have happy hour at the end of this, so
all right.
Yeah,
I called it, by the way. He's gonna sit on some porch as the sun goes down, while the rest of us are like, time for bed. All right.
Yeah, it's up. But yeah, the question was
so it drops at 9:00 EST on HBO Max.
Right.
So that means you get it. So you get it at 8, people in Denver get it at 7, and Mo gets it at 6.
But does it run on HBO as well? I think it does. I think it still runs on HBO for people to watch live, but it's if you have HBO Max, I guess.
But isn't HBO on EST?
Yes, they run.
Because it was based in New York.
Yeah, they run everything through on EST. Yes.
So
it'd be 9 EST, 8 Central, 7 Mountain Time. Oh yeah, it's available. No, it's actually available to stream at 8 o'clock. So if you
as soon as it starts on HBO, it starts.
It's
for you.
available because
it's not like
before. Yeah.
When Game of Thrones was airing, it was always an hour later.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mhm.
but they got rid of that. Starting like they got rid of that with
For HBO Max.
with HBO Max came out. So Euphoria is the big one, right? With the young people love, right? Where it goes up on HBO Max like instantly, and then my Twitter feed becomes useless. All right, and so, House of Dragon is not an exception. So as soon as it is airing,
you're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, so Andor, episode 4. Because I'm still confused.
Right, this is episode 4.
Yeah, we got 3. Yes. Right. Episode 4. Where would you put it? Or where would you put it? What's your grade?
B. Like, I can't give it an A because it doesn't have any of the big moments that you would want from an A episode.
Last Sunday was the only time we did that, right?
Because normally I am old and I have to teach young people.
Yes, you have to teach
in the morning. And like starting at 9, we're really like 9:30, 10 o'clock is a lot. And the reason we didn't do that is because you had something on Monday, right?
I was flying Monday.
And so but we are not going to be doing anything on the dot after today for a little bit.
Yeah. So it's really every show that we do outside of
House of
Dragons, right? House of Dragons we do the next day. So House of Dragons Sunday, we do it Monday. Every other show we do the day of, just a couple hours like into the day.
Sometimes after work ends, a couple hours after my work ends. Let's be honest, because because Mo is also works on EST time. So
yes, I work EST, so I'm like done at like 3, 4 at most.
Yeah, that's why he loves these happy hours.
Yo. No, it's gonna be up. So even if you don't watch the live show, it's gonna be up on the channel, so you can just check it out there.
But yeah, we only did the. I know. That's another reason, right? Sunday Night Football, but the game was bad yesterday.
Yeah, the game was bad on Sunday. It was Denver.
That wasn't yesterday. That was Jesus.
Our days are running into each other.
Well, this week has just been really bad and really long at work, so like it all blends together. But I guess it's worth announcing. Are we done with the episode, Mo?
No, you were gonna give it grade. I think we're at the grade part.
B. A B. Because it didn't have any of the like high points that I would expect. But it was still good. So B.
It's a solid B minus.
Okay.
Again, solid episode, right? But that end just drops it a little bit for me. So yeah, that's it. But yeah, so I think did we miss anything?
I think we covered just about everything.
Yeah, it is really. Okay, because they're adding someone and we don't know yet. So yeah, we did cover about everything.
Yeah, we don't know yet. I theorize Bale, but you said he might be part of it already. So,
and I'm still thinking it's going to be someone on the inside. I think it's the black guy.
Because his mom Mothma wants to add somebody.
Yes, I think it's someone super high up. It could be someone in the. Okay.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
That would be interesting. You mean the black guy who's the I was trying to think of
who's the guy on Ferris.
Oh, but there's two. I was thinking the two black guys that were in.
No, not the spy ring. I'm talking about the guy, like
the guy, the Imperial officer.
Yeah, the Imperial officer. Yeah,
that makes sense. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, and that's probably why he's holding on to Ferris the way, it's like once.
Good catch, Mo. I like that. Because the plot could be she exposes him.
That's the thing.
And then it almost exposes the rebellion.
Yeah, he has to chew on the cyanide pill.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. That would be a cool storyline. So I hope they go that direction.
No, I don't think they will, though, but it's a good it's
but that's an official Mo prediction.
No, I feel like it gives the show like juice, right? But I'm thinking they're not gonna go with that.
I'm the one who usually makes wild predictions that don't work out.
Well,
so
here we go. I just pulled it.
Not WandaVision.
Right. God. Those WandaVision predictions.
Still the egg is still on my face. So
Mephisto.
for our
God,
loyal
you-
listeners
you ran the gamut.
or viewers,
Right.
this is going to be like, I think you and I have been really good, I think, all summer and into the
Yes.
fall
Yes.
about almost every day on time.
Mhm.
I'll tell you which people dress. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
I
But
think this show shows it more than any other Star Wars because it's usually like super imperial, right? But this one shows people dressing fresh.
yes, well, because it's, I think, trying to create like a juxtaposition between like Andor's situation and where Mon Mothma
Yeah.
is,
'Cause it's
and I think it's gonna play with the idea of Mon Mothma when she says like, "I'm the most exposed."
Mhm.
Like, is she the most exposed? This rich, powerful lady who has a shitty husband.
Well,
Like,
she did 100% deny it. Where was your husband on January 6th, Mon Mothma?
more like when Order 66 happened.
Right.
Was he cheering in the crowd?
Mm-hmm. But you were saying.
Oh yeah, we are going to be on a little bit of a break because
This week.
I've got some stuff going on, some folks visiting here, so we will not be doing She-Hulk live or Rings of Power.
Yes.
And then we will probably return for House of the Dragon on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
If Mo and I are really feeling it, we might go like back to back. But I know, but we'll see. Or we might double up. We might do 2 She-Hulk
Yeah, we'll
episodes.
do that. I think yeah, doubling up is a lot better.
Okay. So we'll see you next Monday for House of the Dragon. Then we'll be back on schedule because the week after is a huge week where we have House of Dragon on Monday, Andor, She-Hulk, Rings of Power, and Werewolf by Night. All in one. The same week. So
right. So again, oh come on!
All right, drunk.
Come on!
I mean,
She-Hulk over here, man.
Really? Yeah, we are a She-Hulk.
He almost tasted that. Num, eat it up. Go play okay.
Okay, that was awful.
We weren't able. Since we're not doing She-Hulk this week, I get to make this joke now.
Right.
So there was another twerk heard around the world today, right?
Yes.
Yes, Lizzo at the National Archive, or excuse me, the Library of Congress.
Right, super.
So if you don't know what that is, you should definitely Google the discourse.
Oh my god, it's disgusting. But yeah, let's
end this show. White people make asses out of themselves. That discourse is great.
Oh man, yeah, let's CGI twerk.
May the twerk be with you, folks.
And we will catch you next week. We'll catch you on next week, Wednesday.
Yeah, literally next week
for another episode of Andor. Peace.